Hello, everybody. So I'm thinking my time for Streamyard is actually Saskatchewan time instead of Manitoba time because it told me I'm an hour early. So hopefully my event didn't get mixed up for you guys. Unfortunately, my time, I don't have a set time, so I don't know where it goes in. So I'm just quickly going to check to see if I'm showing up live in my other locations. Let me see. Okay, so it says I'm live. Hopefully I can check on my phone inside the group. So let's see. Oh, yeah, perfect. I'm there. All right. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to use my phone because I'm going to have a screen share as well. So I want to make sure that I'm actually able to. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Kimmy. Hi, Karen. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, if you guys do comments, let me see. Oh, yeah, perfect. So we can see Kristen's comment here. So Kimberly, if you want to show yours here, there is a link. I'm going to see if I could find it again. And that way we'll be able to see comments from everybody. So if you do it once and then you're good to go. Let me see. Okay. So I will post this under the live. So if you guys have any questions as I'm going, you can comment. It will pop up over here on my system, so I'll be able to see it. Actually, I just put it into the same comments on the Facebook for this live. If you can see, it's just a link from Streamyard. So basically, it's giving Streamyard the permission to allow your name to show up. So that way I can see who it is that's asking the questions and be able to kind of answer it a little bit better if you like. All right. Okay, perfect. So I'm Fiona. I will be just want to do a little bit of housekeeping first for the challenge. So this here, it is going to be 1 hour. I love to explain, and sometimes I do over explain a bit. So I'll do my best to keep it to between 45 minutes and an hour. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you need any more clarity or anything like that, because I know for me, I've been doing it for quite some time, and it's easy for me just to assume that I'm saying the what's the understanding and everything like that. So I want to make sure you guys do understand, because the challenge is called You Are Enough, because it is 100% about you. It's about everything that you can learn to absorb to help your business do better. So I want to make sure that you guys do get the understanding and the actions. Yes, you have. See, perfect. I see it there. Perfect. Awesome. All right. So it is all about you guys. The most important thing is to take action, because we can take time to learn, but I don't want to waste your time either. So I want to make sure that you get the most out of it. So there is tasks that we can do on a daily basis to kind of help support and kind of give you a bit of a momentum to start doing the attraction marketing. So I will go into my screen share so I can go through that with you guys. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Yes, I do. We see you, Joy. Awesome. Thank you. All righty. Yeah. So if you don't have the workbook, if you didn't get it, if you registered already, then I can send you the link for the workbook. And if you, hey, Sam. Yes, Kristen, the lives will be I have guides set up on my Facebook, and you'll actually be able to have the replays until September 30th. And then I will kind of remove everything at that time. So it'll still be here for another couple of weeks for you guys to go back, as well as you're going through it and everything like that. But if you don't have the workbook, say, hey, or hashtag no workbook or whatever, and I'll make sure that we'll be able to get it to you. If you haven't registered, feel free to join in if you want access to the workbook, because it's got like note sections and a little bit of brief information. Then you'll be able to, you'll be able to get that as well. And then we can get you registered and set up for that. All right, so if you guys have any questions, if you use the workbook, perfect. If not, that's okay. It's an extra special thing there for you guys to kind of help put everything together. So we're going to go into the first one, which is our, oops, 1 second. Oh, and if I talk too fast, let me know. I am a newfie, and I have a tendency to talk quite often pretty fast as well. All right. So finding them, creating your customer avatar. So the attraction marketing is basically a way of being able to get your customers and audience to come to you. So you're doing it through targeting your audience, sharing content that would interest them, and asking them questions and engaging with them and having them come back to you. So that's basically everything, but there's a lot of key parts to make that actually work and make it work well. And the biggest thing is being consistent. So when you start it, to continue doing it. But the easiest way to be consistent is to know what we're doing. So creating your customer avatar. So first, meet me. I know a lot of you guys already, but I just kind of wanted to talk about who I am. So I've been doing network marketing for about 4 years now. I did struggle with finding and converting customers, and I was chasing after cold leads. So if someone had commented on Facebook, I was messaging them, I was responding to them, and I was saying, have you tried essential oils? So you didn't quite get a lot of people interested in doing that, as well as I did a lot of order swaps and kind of bugging families and friends. So I've got quite a few of my friends that they set up accounts because I had group orders and everything like that. So it was a lot of extra work and chasing around, and most of the people that purchased once hadn't purchased again. And I did learn that I love connecting with people and supporting them. So that was one of the biggest things for me was I love seeing people do better and to succeed in anything that they were doing. And that relates to business dreams and goals. So having this opportunity to teach about attraction marketing to help support other people is what I really enjoy doing it. Right. So, and I always I didn't like coming across as salesy, and I found that a lot of people would stop responding to me, even if I had a conversation about doTERRA, whether or not they were interested in purchasing from me later or not. Every time I'd message them after to see how they're doing, a lot of times they wouldn't respond. So I know people are busy, and I get that. But at the same time, part of me was wondering, maybe I seem too salesy. Maybe they think I'm only asking questions just to ask them if they're to buy something, right? So. Okay. So, and like I said, I was spending a lot of money on vendor shows. I was spending a lot of money on trying to get people to purchase products and see the value of what I was offering. So I realized I was getting tired. I was spending a lot of my times commenting on posts and vendor shows that no one else was responding to, or people weren't commenting the same way. And I just kind of wanted to give up. So I decided to not give up. I decided to try to find something else. And that's when I came across attraction marketing, as well as the systems and tools to help support me to be able to do the business and to accomplish the goals that I'm looking for. Great. So now I've got time in my day to support customers and provide value to them as well as potential customers. And I fill my cup with passion and energy and excitement because now I'm not chasing after people and doubting whether or not they're interested, but instead I spend my time with my customers and I share content that people will come back to ask about. And I want to be able to support you guys to do the exact same thing. So I want to be able to help you speak to your audience, make you stand out from the crowd so that people will come to you instead of other people doing the same business that you're doing, and make it easier and have more time for you to focus on your family or what you want to do. That was the biggest thing that I liked about this part, was having that ability to spend more time with my family or what I like. Right. So my biggest thing about this is you are enough, and there are people needing you in their lives. So there are people out there that your products they need your products. They need you specifically as well, because you are the only one that can bring yourself to the table. And I'm going to help you work and figure that out. All right. So this was a fun joke. I'm not saying I believe in global warming, but have you noticed it's getting harder to make cold calls? So I don't know if you guys realized, but it's definitely a lot harder to be messaging people, or just even whether it's in a DM, uninvited or whatever, or if it's just messaging on comments or whatever. A lot of times people find it really hard to respond because a lot of people are doing it. So there's a lot of people that we interact with that have a lot of different friends and families that are messaging them about products and buying stuff. So it's definitely more challenging now because more people are aware of it. More people are doing it on social media. So then this kind of gives us a chance to break away from feeling salesy and just having that good balance to be able to offer content and value to customers, because that's the biggest thing, is the value. So we want to offer more than what we get back. So if you guys want to do a quick icebreaker, I'll tell you a little bit why I want the icebreaker down a little bit later. So just 1 second. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll quickly respond to them, or we'll see after. We can do a bit of a Q&A. I did have a little bit of fun with this icebreaker. There we go. All right, so in 1 or 2 words, share who your current customer is. Who is the person that you guys reach out to now for your business? I don't know. If you guys want to drop your comments, if you want to think about it. I know right now I have my PowerPoint up, so I can't quite see your comments through on the PowerPoint on my computer, but I can see it on my phone. Party hosts, past and present. Perfect. All right. So that was from Kimberly. So we'll see. So we'll go back to that 1 to 2 words for our current customers. And what I'd like to do is kind of talk about what we'll learn today. So we'll learn about the importance of finding your ideal customer avatar, in which case I'll call it ICA most often. I'll probably say ideal customer avatar. And common mistakes people make when marketing their products or services without knowing who their customer is. Why it's important to be specific when you plan out your avatar. Family and friends, getting ghosted a lot. I hear you, Kristen. That happens to me all the time too. And it's tough, right? Because it's great products, but it's hard when they are not interested. All right. Questions to help you answer to find your avatar. All right, and examples of real customer avatars. So I actually went through some of my people that I'm following as well to give you guys examples and actions you can take to help finding your specific customer. All right, so the first part is the importance of your ideal customer avatar, and it's targeted marketing. So I know a lot of us here when we first start business that everybody is your prospect, that everyone can benefit from your product, everyone can benefit from your service. So speak to as many people as you can, especially your family and friends, because they want to be there to support you. But with having an actual ideal customer avatar, we are going to be more targeted to people that actually do want the products and are interested in the products. So we will be crafting messages, content relevant to your customer and their pain points to get higher conversion rates. So the main focus that we're going to do a lot on is the pain points, because if someone is, whether they're aware of their pain points or they're going to be aware of their pain points, our products and services is a solution to someone's concern. So if they, I know, for example, for Kristen, for tea, if someone's like, they want a better tasting tea or they want different flavors, then that's their pain point that you can get them to be able to get more products for, right? As opposed to just being, hey, I got more tea if you're interested. And same thing for like the Tupperware and Pampered Chef and everything like that. You guys have great products to be able to use in the kitchen. So your pain points are people that are struggling with cooking. I know Tupperware with the microwave products, the pressure cooker and stuff, that's the pain point would be the people not having time to cook, right? Not being able to make actual meals. Your energy and efforts aren't wasted on cold calls or your family and friends who aren't interested. So we're not going to waste our time anymore talking to people that it's just not their interest, right? So they don't need to be your customer. There's plenty of people out there. Build stronger relationships with your customers and have true connections on social media. All right. And effective resource allocations. Oh, with the Modere? Yeah, health. Definitely, I find it's a bit harder too. Time saving and showing cost-effective options, I would say. Yeah, I agree, Kim. Definitely cost-effective and showing time saving, because everyone needs to save time, especially cooking, right? I'm horrible for cooking. All right, so effective resource allocations. Make sure you are spending your energy and money on the correct platforms. So if your customers are on Facebook, you want to make sure you're spending your time and energy on Facebook. If your customers are on TikTok or Instagram or wherever they're to, make sure you're there in that location. And that's one of the questions we'll be going through later is you don't want to be spending all your time, say, for example, doing reels if that's not where your audience is. Now, if you're interested in targeting younger people that are probably starting for cooking or are interested in teas as opposed to coffee, then that could be an option for you. Not spending money on products that belong to other people in hopes of getting them to buy from you. So again, one of the great things with traction marketing, we don't have to focus on order swaps. So you actually save more money that way instead of buying products that are just going to kind of sit in your house. And not spending money to join groups or vendor shows. So quite often we spend a lot of money on prizes and vendor shows to be able to get customers interested, but those people are the ones that other vendors bring in and stuff. So they may not necessarily be a customer for you, and they may not necessarily be interested in actually purchasing and listening to the vendor show. All right, and guided content creation. So when we know who our customer is, we're able to speak directly to the customers about the topics that are relevant to them so they don't get bored, right? So I know we had a couple of comments about that. Some people were concerned about boring their customers or people that they're posting on or their Facebook to their family members and friends. So we talk about their interests, their pain points, and aspirations to help them know, to get them to build that connection with them. So the more that they know you're speaking to them, and the more that they are like, well, Kristen and Kimberly understand me, Andrea or Jen know where I'm coming from, then they're more likely to listen, and they're more likely to follow and comment on your posts and everything like that as well. And you streamline the customer journey so it's easier for them to be interested in buying. So a lot of times people may not necessarily know that there's an issue or a concern that they have, and they eventually kind of, by listening to your posts, they realize that they have that. Hi, Liz. And then when they realize that they have that pain point, then they're more likely going to see what solutions and what value you offer. And by the time they come to you saying they're interested in purchasing something, they've already made up their mind. They've already decided that this is what they need because you've provided them with all the valuable content and information to help support them. Okay, and better business, period. Right, so spending resources only where your customers are means more profits. You're not wasting your money on anything extra above and beyond what you need to. It helps you to understand where your business is going and how to scale for the future, because if you know exactly who your customers are and how to tailor their experiences to them. And customer satisfaction means more success stories, more shares, and more referrals, right? So once you are able to target your audience and you actually help them, support them, and they feel that true connection with you and that community that you're building, they're more likely going to talk about it, and you'll be able to get more testimonials and stories from them, as well as they'll talk to their family and friends, and then you'll have more referrals for more business. Okay. So we'll go through common mistakes people make when finding their avatars. So being too vague or unfocused marketing. So again, a lot of times we're taught that everybody's our customers, especially family and friends, because they love supporting us. So we kind of share products and stuff it's too vague and it's not really responding to everybody, So it's like that whole jack of all trades, master of none. So when we're sending out content and information or messages, that's a lot of the times is what we're doing for that. Disconnected content, lack of engagement, or emotional connection. So if we're again sending out content that's not resonating with our customers, then we're going to have a lot harder time to respond back. So I'm going to pause for a second. Family and friends, I'm not saying that they're not going to be interested in our products and they're not ever going to support us. And we want to make sure we're there and having that connection with them. And if they do happen to post and comment about something that we know we can support, we can certainly reach out and message them and say, hey, we do have this, or kind of comment on their post and say, if you're interested in more information, let me know. And if they say yes, then you'd be like, okay, I'll send you a DM, and then you'll be able to kind of continue that conversation. But that gives them the opportunity to say yes or no to you. So you want to make sure they decide to come to you as opposed to you going to them, but you can still give them that option of saying, hey, I'm here to support you. So for family and friends, if they're interested in your products and they respond to your content, then you know that that's the person, that's a customer, it's an ideal customer for you. But if they're not responding to your content or anything like that, then don't worry about it because they're not someone who's interested. They're probably still seeing it and they're still potentially could in the future, but not at the moment. So that prevents you from feeling like you're being salesy or you're ruining your friendships or anything with your family, because then you're not actually going to go up to them and ask them if they're interested in something without them actually coming to you first. Okay. All right. And wasted resources and missed opportunities. So a lot of times we're spending a lot of extra money than we necessarily need to, trying to chase after people that are not interested. And we miss the people that could have been interested or that we do need by making sure we are very more specific about who our target audience is. Right. So you don't account for the customer's journey and evolving with them. So one of the things with when we create our customer and we create our branding and everything we do with this, we're constantly evolving and changing as well. So depending on where you found your customer and what pain points they were feeling at the time, that would change how they deal with your products. And like, say, for example, they'd be like, oh, I need more time to cook and I have the microwave for the pressure cooker, then they would be able to kind of continue that journey forward and they learn more about the more microwavable products that they can use to make things a bit quicker. So they kind of move along in their journey and we want to make sure we're accounting for that as well. And we can create an ideal customer and then we can change it and tweak it again as we go on once we learn more about us and we learn more about how the people are responding to our posts and we find out that we realize there's other customers that we probably missed completely. Right. And another huge thing is to make sure that you're doing your avatar as well based on who is not your customer. So it's great to know who your customer is, but you also want to know who your customer is not, and not just for them, but for you as well. Because there are some people, like, we do have different personalities, we all have different energy, and we all have different values. So we don't want to be working with people that it's going to go against us, right? That's going to kind of cause a lot more of that grief. And again, I know we are all like, we need to get as much sales as we can. But with attraction marketing, we're doing it more based on ourselves and attracting people with like-minded people and who have similar values to us. So it will be able to help you not have someone who's like not going to be your customer. So again, you're not going to chase after those leads, even if they kind of show up seem like they're interested, but they're not really. All right. And a lot of people who don't know who their customers are find it difficult scaling and actually increasing their team, increasing their business, and having low conversion rates and not able to get the volume that they're wanting. All right. So, and I kind of talked a little bit about the importance of being specific, and the icebreaker, I asked you guys to give me your customers in 1 or 2 words, because you cannot be specific in 1 or 2 words. It is impossible to nail that part. So the reason why is I kind of came up, one second. So when you're specific, it builds your authenticity and allows you to talk directly to your customer and have them get you. So again, you're being authentic, you're having personal conversations, and your customer is like, wow, you really get me. You understand what I'm going through. So that helps build loyal customers who will become your brand advocates and share with their friends. And they'll be excited to share you, not just your products, because they're excited about working with you and how much support they get from you. And then it grabs your customer's attention a lot quicker, and you get people to switch from liking your posts to buying from you. Okay, so I kind of came up with, as an example, so if someone's like, well, my customers are health and wellness. And I know when I first kind of came up with my ideal customer, I was like, well, yeah, I'm like, my products is health and wellness. Everybody benefits from it. Like, it doesn't matter their age. So I'm like, male, female, age, whatever, everybody is a benefit. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of share 3 examples of a health and wellness person. So here's Joshua. I'm not going to go through all the details. You guys can certainly check it out later if you want. But as an example, the main thing is he's 32 years old. He's married. He has no kids. He makes about $75,000 a year. He has a college degree in business, and he does a corporate job for finance. So he values physical fitness, disciplined routines, and he loves weightlifting, running marathons, and reading about nutrition. So his pain points are balancing work, family, and fitness commitments, and finding trustworthy, practical fitness and nutritional advice. So here's a health and wellness person. He's really into weightlifting, nutrition, and running marathons. So that's a health and wellness person. So here is Maria, who is also a health and wellness person. And by the way, these aren't real people. These are avatars that I created. So she is 45 years old. She's female. She's divorced. She's got 2 teenage children. She makes around $50,000 annually, and she lives in a small city. She's got some college education. She was a school teacher. She likes spiritual growth, balance, yoga, meditation, journaling, volunteering. She's afraid of stress and anxiety. And her pain points are she finds it hard finding time for self-care amidst a busy schedule and lacks local resources for spiritual and wellness practices. So again, 2 different health and wellness people with different concerns, different issues, and different goals. And here's Ian for a third one. And he is a 26-year-old. He's single. He makes around $40,000. He has a bachelor's degree in environmental science. He's a nonprofit worker. He values animal welfare, environmental sustainability, ethical living. He likes to cook vegan meals. He's active. He hikes. He writes a blog. He fears climate change, animal cruelty, and health problems related to dieting. He wants to influence others to adopt a vegan lifestyle, and he also finds it difficult to find affordable, tasty vegan products. So again, all 3 are health and wellness, but they're 3 completely different people, and they're going to have different goals, different pain points. So if you're trying to talk health and wellness to all 3 of them, you're going to find it very difficult to have either one of them resonate with you. So that's why if you pick one of the 3 and you talk to them, you'll have that person be able to respond back a lot better because you're speaking their language versus having all of them here. So someone like Joshua who's lifting weights, he's probably not going to be interested in vegan meals. He might because he reads about nutrition, but you're going to be able to get Ian a lot better if you share vegan recipes, etc. If you guys have any questions, let me know. So I kind of went health and safety. Then I also talked a little bit about some moms. So again, I know like a lot of times we're like, oh, moms are very important for a lot of us, right? Because they're the ones that take care of the families. They're the ones that would be buying most of the products that we probably offer. So here's Tanya. She's 32. She's married. She's got a young little girl there with her. She is a writer. She's big into personal growth. She's tech savvy and she's active on social media platforms, but she struggles to find time for her business and household responsibilities. And she's feeling overwhelmed with balancing work, family, and personal goals. But she wants to launch a successful business and achieve life-work balance. Right. So that's that mom. The other mom is Kim, who has a teenager. So she is a yoga instructor, part-time content creator. She makes around 30 to 40,000. She's passionate about natural living and clean eating. She values holistic wellness and self-care, and she's struggling to maintain a healthy lifestyle while managing a busy schedule. And she's looking for practical ways to stay fit, mindful despite being on a tight budget. Oh, sorry, Kristen. You can always go back, check the replay if you like after. So share with health journeys and inspire others through content creation. We're kind of going through different avatars. So we're talking about 3 different moms right now. So this one here is Charlie, and she is her babies are newborn and they're a twin. So that completely changes her pain points because now she's struggling with learning what it's like to have twins and to be able to take care of 2 newborn babies. Right. So she's currently a stay-at-home mom, 20 to 30,000, which is her partner's income. She's adjusting to the demands of parenthood, especially with the twins. She's seeking guidance and support from experienced parents, values convenience, time-saving solutions, and practical advice, but she's struggling to manage household chores and self-care with the twins. And right now she's seeking parenting tips and coping strategies, and she wants to be able to manage parenting responsibilities. So again, even though they're moms, they're 3 completely different moms. And because our kids make a difference, like I know all of us have commented about having kids or having people we take care of, and from when they're a newborn all the way up until they're teenagers, it changes, right? So it changes our dynamic, it changes who we are, and it changes what support we need. So again, talking about a customer's journey, if you have someone and you help support them when their kids are a baby, then their journey changes, and then your support for them will have to change with them as they change as well. All right, so that's kind of the avatars. So what I had done is I broke down different things. So again, I don't want you guys to think that you have to answer all of these and respond to everything, and you could tweak it as you go. So just get your basic. So the first thing you want to start with is knowing like the demographics. It's really easy, knowing their ages, knowing their income. Whoops, 1 second. So their age, their gender, marital status or family size, income, educational level, occupation, location, whether it's urban, suburban, or rural, and national or ethnicity. right? So this kind of gives you a bit of a basic groundwork of who your person is. And you don't have to answer all these questions, but if you answer a couple of them just to kind of give you a bit of an idea, then you can start doing some content and sharing and trying to get these people's attention and kind of work with them. And then if it's not working out specifically, then you go back and tweak it again. So I've done that a couple of times since I've changed it. I had one customer avatar, and then I went and changed it again. And now I'm getting a bit more specific depending on who's responding to me. Psychographics, which this one here is more about their behavior. So it's their values and beliefs, because again, we want to work with people that have the same values as us. We don't want to be someone that's completely different, because then you won't have that great connection with them. Interests and hobbies, lifestyle preferences, personality traits, goals, aspirations, their influence, their inspirations, attitudes towards specific topics, communication style, media consumption habits. And again, some of these, like for my business, lifestyle preferences would probably be a very high one, because that's what the health and wellness is. So I would want to target people within that specific life preference. But as for their aspirations or communication style, maybe not necessarily as important. So again, pick and choose what works for you. And like interests and hobbies, some people might have someone that they can help with people who are sports, right? So, and the other section is your behaviors. So how do they purchase? Do they purchase online? Do they like subscribing? Do they like having stuff just come to them? Do they like going into a brick and mortar, touching it? Buying preferences are very similar to purchasing behavior. So I guess purchasing, are they a person that has to be on trend? Like, do they need to buy the next new thing that comes out? So when new products come, they're the first ones to get it. They have to have it all in their different colors. Or are they the type of person that they're frugal? They'll wait till things go on clearance. They'll wait until it's on sale or anything like that. How often they shop, if they're brand loyal, or if they kind of switch depending on prices or other scenarios. Do they do a lot of online shopping? Do they interact with ads? Do they have engagements with newsletters? So if you guys decide to create newsletters, do they respond to those, and do they like receiving that to get tips and tricks? And do they use a lot of technology? Right, so that will depend if you're talking to them in person, online. Okay, and their pain points. So again, this one here, I would definitely, if you're doing your customer avatar, I would focus a lot on the pain points, because we want to know what pain points your products are the solution for, and be able to focus on that to be able to speak. Because a lot of times people, they do have fears, they have pain points, they have wants, and they have needs, and they have wins that they like. But you're more likely to get someone to purchase something if you're targeting their pain point, because if they have a headache, you're more likely going to get them to purchase something than they would if they're feeling fine, right? So that's why we do have, and a lot of I would say all of our products do support some sort of pain point for somebody. It may not necessarily be physical pain, but it's a solution, and we want to focus on that part of it. So what are their challenges and struggles? What are their frustrations or obstacles? Is there any unmet needs and desires that they have? Is there any concerns and worries? Or do they have any negative experiences? Is there areas of dissatisfaction? Is there sources of stress? Is there specific problems seeking solutions? Right? So that one, especially if people are aware that they have a problem, that's the best, most ideal customer, because they are already looking for ways of being able to get support, and they'll come across you and see you. You're not chasing them, you're not pushing, you're just there for them. Okay, so again, I tried to come up with some examples, and this is a lot of words, so sorry about that. But this is an avatar for a Dollar Shave Club. So I kind of wanted to give you some examples of real life people. So I know when the Dollar Shave Club came out, their commercials were very memorable, because they were like, I remember just the alarms going off. They were trying to get the razors behind the glass shelves, right? And he was saying, oh, why do you need all these gadgets and everything? So their ideal customer were people that didn't want to have to go to a grocery store to go underneath a sliding glass to get their razors. They wanted to be able to have it come straight to their house, right? So I think they were one of the first few that came with a subscription model that allowed it to come right to their doors instead of having to go shopping. So they definitely got really good with their avatar. They nailed their customers. And I kind of want to talk about coffee as well, right? So as an example, we talk about different moms. We talk about different businesses that do coffee. So Starbucks and Tim Hortons are both coffee shops, and they do have completely different customers. So Starbucks is more for like you can gather, hang out. Some people do business there. Some people do their studying. They're more of a laid back, casual atmosphere. I know Tim Hortons has changed and they have some places like that. Like the one in my town has nice, comfortable chairs now. But then it kind of goes through some of their behaviors, right? So they do like the premium coffees. They are middle, their income is middle to high because they do have more money to spend on coffee. So they would spend a bit more on quality, and they're more on the on go. Whereas with your Tim Hortons, it's more for families, a lot for seniors. A lot of people have been going there since they're kids. So it's kind of like a tradition. It's kind of like built into Canada, for example. And they have, it's practical, it's very quick, it's affordable for a lot of people. And a lot of times it was in and out, quickly eat and go. Not as much a hangout, but there's a little bit of that hanging out there in that space. All right. So I kind of wanted to show some bad examples of customer avatars as well. So in 1985, Coca-Cola came out because that was a trend and they were trying to pick up on the trend, which is good. They realized there was a trend. Sweeter drinks were being more popular. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to follow the trend. So they came out with a new flavor of Coke and they made it sweeter. But the problem is they didn't kind of rerun their customer avatar to find out anything. So what happened is a lot of people liked the flavor. They've lived with the flavor. They grew up with the flavor. I'm pretty sure Tim Hortons changed their flavor of coffee as well. And a lot of people were not happy about that. So when they made that change for the flavor, a lot of customers gave them backlash and they wanted it to go back to the original flavor because that was what they liked the most. So obviously since then, Coke has come out with other flavors and products and to kind of help with the people who prefer the sweeter drinks. So another example is, or if you guys can answer, I'm not too sure if you guys know what this is. If you've seen it before, I think it was back in the 2000s or so that they'd done this one. I don't know if anyone. Yes, that's right, Kimberly. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you've seen this one. Yep, you're correct. This model, they tried to change. They wanted to become a bit more modern with their style and their branding because they were known as the orange with the straw. So a lot of people know that one instead, but they wanted to change to kind of go with the trends and to be more modern. And a lot of people were very upset about the fact that they had changed the carton and how it looked. And they wanted to go back to this original one with the straw because, again, that was what their customers kind of resonated with. And that's what they liked. And that's what they recognized. So to them, Tropicana was the orange with the straw in the orange. I personally think if they changed the color of that glass or made it a little bit different, it probably could have had good value, but it was hard to see what that product is. Yep, exactly, Joy. It's 100%. And that's the thing. Once we brand something, it's very hard to change and you have to kind of know your customer avatar at the same time. Yes, I know, Kimberly. That definitely tastes a lot better versus can and glasses and stuff, right? So, they wanted more sophisticated look, but the packaging took away what they were interested in. All right, and my other one is Blockbuster, right? This one here, it's one of those that they did not go with the trend. They didn't follow the customer avatar, which was people were starting to do more stuff online. So they weren't renting actual DVDs because they were able to stream it on their TVs. And Blockbuster, I don't know if they had that opportunity. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I agree, Kim. But for Blockbuster, I'm not entirely sure if they could have potentially switched to online if they might have had that. Maybe they didn't have the monetary ability to do that. But I feel like that's something that if they had kind of gone with the trend and been aware of what their customers are doing, that they probably could have jumped on online and they could have been as big as Netflix or Paramount or any of that stuff, right? But unfortunately, they decided to stay brick and mortar. And as DVDs and Blu-rays cut down, they did try for a bit. Yeah, so I guess depending on how consistent they tried or whatever the situation is, maybe they just, who knows, right? But I know it's one of those businesses that ended up shutting down and you can't go to them anymore, but I remember going to them a lot as a kid. Nice. Well, I didn't catch that. So that would be cool, Joy. But yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. Like, it was movie renters going. I used to go there quite often to rent movies, and I know a lot of people did. There was one that was just above my house, and I used to love going to buy their movies afterwards. But trends change, journeys change, and we have to be aware to make sure that we do follow. Okay. So some actions to take to kind of just quickly go back through everything we're talking about. Yeah, that's a good point, Joy. I think Netflix, someone said that Netflix has been around for over 26 years. And I find that I didn't even realize they were around that long. I was kind of impressed when I heard that. So Blockbuster probably did try, and they probably didn't quite get there. Oops. So, but again, it unfortunately didn't work out very well. Okay, sorry, I think I might have bumped ahead a couple. My mouse went ahead a little bit. Well, it went back quite a bit. Right. So it's good examples of how like we want to be innovative, but at the same time we need to listen to our customers, right? Because if our customers are not interested, then we're not going to get anywhere. So write down what you know about your current customers. So we're not going to discount the work that we've already done previously, right? Because you've gotten current customers, you've gotten their interests, you got their pain points, you've gotten what they're interested in and liking, and you have loyal customers that will buy from you on a regular basis. So you don't want to discount what those people are. Right. So you want to identify a major pain point or a few for your customer avatar. And the biggest things is like we want to be specific because you can't talk to everybody, but you can start to grow. So start with one thing and then just kind of talk and share content related to that pain point for your customer and speak to them. And as you get that interest and you get that build and you get more people viewing, then you can change and add some more stuff, right? So kind of keep tweaking and going. So if you've got like a lot of products that your company has, you don't want to sell all of them because that, again, that's too much. So if you go to specific, like 1 or 2 items, find out what pain points those 1 or 2 items help with. Because then once you have someone interested and they say, yes, they want to buy from you and they've already bought once, it's a lot easier to share and expose them to other products that are available. But you do want to start first to get that initial interest to have someone say, yes, I want to buy. All right. And then read your avatar and see if it's specific enough. So in our Facebook group, if you create an avatar, if you want to share it just to see, I know I've done this before with content pillars, which we'll talk about in a couple of days, where some people thought they were specific and it wasn't specific enough and you could get a bit more details into it. And again, I found like I created mine 4 or 5 months ago and I'm still tweaking it. And even now, like I'm going to do my homework with you guys because I want to recreate my avatar as well. And I want to recreate my people to be able to get the ones that I'm looking for. So I want to compare your avatar to your existing customers as well. So like, are there any similarities? Did you make sure you encompass the good parts of your current customers that are your brand loyalties and your advocates and who love you and love purchasing from you? And then name your avatar. So this is something, it's not quite what they say for the attraction marketing, but I believe it's good for a mindset. So if you name your avatar and then every time you create a post, think of their name, think of that person and just be like, I'm writing this to you and say their name, right? So it'll be like, I'm writing my post to Joshua. So you can kind of be like, hey, Joshua, and then you can kind of write your post. And again, that mindset and that energy is going out and it's going to, I totally feel the energy can come across a computer, right? It can come into our content. It can come into our interactions. It can come into anything that we're doing. So I feel if we have that intention to say, this is my person, this is who I'm talking to, you have a better chance of talking to that person because they feel your energy coming to them. Right? And reflect on what your competitors are doing or your favorite brands do for more examples. Awesome, Kim. So I know one other coach, like she's a business coach, and she had commented and she's like, oh, half your followers are going to be your competitors or your customers. And I was like, I'd love when competitors would follow me. I would love for other people that do the same products as I do follow me, because then we're going to be able to kind of work with each other to do better. So like, what are they seeing from me that they want to kind of repeat, and what's working, or if you follow your competitors, what are they doing that's resonating? Like if they got people that are commenting and they got 100 comments per post, well, what are they doing that you could do too? Who is their customers? Who are they talking to that you could talk to as well? Right? So it's a good way to piggyback off, and the customers win because they get better value, they get better service, they get a lot more stuff from you, and then you, again, building that connection and being able to help serve them better. Right. And share in the Facebook group so we can all learn and help each other. I'm huge for community. I'm huge for sharing. I'm huge for wanting to be able to support everybody and have everybody support each other, because like I'm one person. You guys are all individual people as well. So you all have your own experiences. You all have your own personal stories. You all have your own perceptions, and you guys have different things that can come to the table as well, right? So if we share and you're like, well, what do you think about my customer avatar? I do Tupperware, I do Pampered Chef, I do Modere, I do Spology, I do doTERRA, whatever it is that you guys do. You guys all have a different perspective that can help support. So I think that would be awesome to be able to kind of get each other's perspectives, because I know based on me, but there's a lot of other things happening too. All right. So what does this have to do with you specifically? All right. So I kind of wanted to break it down because I know sometimes learning new things can be a little bit more overwhelming and challenging, and I don't want it to feel like that. So I kind of wanted to sum up what it does have to do with you specifically, because again, this is about your business and about how you are doing it, and I want to make sure you get the most out of it. So it's personal relevance for you. Attraction marketing is a lot about us serving our customers and supporting them and showing them that we have the solution and we have what they would like. So understanding your customer is understanding your motives and your drive. I know once we were asked what drives us, what would push us, what would make us get up at 5:30 in the morning to go do our business. And a lot of people are kind of commenting on money. And I'm like, that doesn't drive me. But helping someone to support them with their business, helping someone to support them with their lives, or be able to be successful, to do their goals, to feel better about themselves. That's what really drives me. And I would get up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning to be able to get up and support somebody. So that's what motivates me. And understanding that my customers have these pain points and solutions, then I will be able to support them. And your customer needs your solution, right? So your product or your service, and you're helping and serving them, allows your passion and strengths to shine through and be authentic. So the most important thing is you have to be you and be authentic, and knowing that there's people out there. So like, I know we are first learned that everyone is our customers. We have to speak to everybody. We don't want to lose that opportunity of missing someone, but there are people already out there ready and waiting and wanting your help. You specifically, there's billions of people on this earth. So there are people out there that they need you, not anyone else, not your cross line, not your upline, not anyone, not your downline, but they need you, right? So that's what we're going to help with getting the customer avatar. And then your passion and strengths will shine through on that, because you're you're more confident, you're talking to the person that you need to be speaking to, and they hear it and they're going to come back. Okay. Alrighty, and empowerment through clarity. I think I kind of touched a little bit on this. So it's easier to share your message and support the ones that need you when you have clarity. So if we're confused and we're unsure exactly what we're saying and what we want to tell people, then the message gets muddled to the people that are wanting to listen. And that's where we miss some opportunities of getting these people that can benefit from our products. So I know I've spoken to people in the past, and I've offered them support, offered them solutions, but obviously it wasn't the right message of connection, because a couple months later I can see them buying the products, but they bought it with somebody else instead, right? So having that clear message and clarity and knowing yourself and being more confident in you will help you get that message across. Right? So when we're confused, posting to everyone, we're not getting anybody's attention. So we, jack of all trades, master of none. If you post something and you're not specific to it, you're not going to get anybody. You might get a couple of likes, you might get a couple of quick comments or whatever it is, but you're not going to get that engagement and you're not going to get the people wanting to buy. Right? So having your ideal customer in every decision for your business will help will be made and aligned to support them and resonate with your core values. So it's a very, very high part of your business is to know who your customer is and how you're going to support them. I love that. Can really do small things with great love. I love that a lot, right? We should do that all the time. So now, again, talking to our specific customer, if we have them in our mind, if you got a picture of them, whatever the case is, then you'll be able to speak to them. All right. Let's wait for this one to load up. Community, connection, and a legacy. Your avatar is someone like you. They share your beliefs, your interests, and your values, so you get deeper connections. So again, you're going to find people that are going to resonate with you, right? So they're going to be very similar to you. They're going to believe in a lot of the same things that you believe in, right? And obviously, if you're selling a certain product and solution, you're doing it because you love it and you value it and you want to share it with other people. So you're going to have those people come in. So like, you're not going to sell Pampered Chef to somebody who doesn't cook. You might sell some stuff. I'm sure Kimberly can be like, no, there's a couple of things in there. But for the most part, you're like, they have to like what you're selling. They have to be able to do it. So like for me, for health and wellness, if someone's not in health and wellness, I'm not going to be able to convince them. Like I could try till I'm blue in the face, but I'm not going to be able to convince them to, you can see actually, I'm not going to be able to convince them to purchase unless they're ready to take care of their health. Right. But if I find people that are interested in a healthier lifestyle, then I'll be able to speak to them and connect a lot better. And you build a tribe of those feeling your vibe and giving them a safe space to grow in your community. So again, you create the brand advocates. That is true. Everybody does eat, Kimberly. But we want to be careful about being too broad. So we want to narrow it down and then you can build upwards, right? So instead of having like a pyramid like this, you can kind of do the pyramid like this. So we start at the bottom and we can grow as we get our customers to build up. Right? So you don't just build a business to support others. You are building a legacy of authenticity and a space that represents who you are. So this, even though you're selling products and you are, and we all have our own company that we're in for the network marketing for every one of you guys who signed up, we're all selling our products, but it's our business and it should be about you, right? It shouldn't be about your company. We need you to stand out. You're speaking to your customers. You're sharing your experiences. You're sharing you to them. So you build and support others by showing who you are. Right? So you write your own. Alrighty. So today's homework are tasks. And again, don't be specific. You don't have to do too much. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed or that it's a lot of work, but I want you to really think about your customer avatar. And I know like a lot of people, they talk about writing a day in the life in the future, right? So they're like, what are your goals? How do you see your life in the future? Write a day of your perfect day in the future, what you would be doing and what it would be like, you know, like if you're helping people with their products or concerns, if you're writing or if you're relaxing, spending time with family. So I kind of took that idea and I said, I want to write a letter about a day in the life of your customer avatar, touching on their pain points, right? So we want to really put that focus on what your solution is. So what they're going to be talking about. So I'll be doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be super thorough, like very detailed, but we want to make sure that we create them as a person because we're going to be speaking to people. We're going to have people that are going to fit into the avatar. And a lot of times with your business, again, a lot of people don't have just one avatar. So like Kimberly mentioned, you talk to all different levels of people for eating. But if you have different avatars for different areas, again, I would start with one, just especially where you're learning to get used to it, to know and to be able to speak to them. And then you can add more and grow more or build more for it. But if we can look at these as a person and be able to build to one specific person and talk to them, then that will be able to help support that. So what is your current customer like? What is their day-to-day? What is their pain points? What are they struggling with? What are they having for stress, right? So we want to focus a lot on those things. And again, share into the Facebook group, because I want to read them. I want to see what you guys come up with, and I want to be able to help support you guys, and you guys can offer your opinions and stuff as well. I know, I am too, Kimberly. You know what, a page maybe, if that works for you. So, and again, you can kind of tweak it and change it. So if you feel like you didn't do it specific enough and you want to go back and do it again later as you're learning this, as you're going through it and doing trial and error. Because I find when I first started, I've made a lot of changes and I've gotten some people resonate with me, some other people not, and I've been changing what I want to do, right? So what I thought I wanted to do, and I've been sharing that, I realize it's not the same, and I'm changing it again to something else, right? So it's something that's always going to be changing. But if you want to stick to a page, all right. So again, you are enough. The business is all about you and how you succeed. So thank you for coming. If you guys have any questions about the customer avatar, let me know. Pop it into the Facebook group. In about an hour or two, I'm going to drop, no, I think it's in about maybe half hour at 3:15 my time. I'm going to drop in the link or post into the group where we could comment our letters if you like. And that way we can share with each other and go through any of the avatars. If you have any questions or anything like that, we can go through it. So tomorrow it's all about you and developing your personal branding, because it's important to know who your customer is, but it's even more important to know who you are. So we'll be digging down into that. Right. So again, if you guys, I have this up here. If you want to screenshot it, I can create this to post into the Facebook as well. So that way you guys have a bigger list. And again, don't go through every single one of these items. You can, if you want, if that's something that you want to do, pick some for now, and you can always tweak and change it as you go through it and just add more once you start to know more about who your customer is. Right. So again, age, income, marital status, a lot of those are good. Their pain points, especially, you want to highlight a lot of those areas for them, especially any frustrations or challenges. But the rest of it, you can kind of build as you go once you learn more about who you are, who your customer is, and as you've been kind of sharing and doing posts and everything like that. All right. So let's see if I can get back to stop screen sharing. I think I did. Okay, awesome. Sweet. So yeah, like if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can certainly let me know, and I'll be happy to answer. If you need any more clarification, or if you post into the Facebook group, I'm there. If you have your workbook, we've got a bit of information in there, as well as a couple of smaller lists to go through related to the demographics and the different things for your customer avatar. And don't worry, it's going to change. Like mine has already changed a couple of times, and I'm still not 100% set on mine yet for who I'm wanting to speak to, because again, a lot of these companies have such a large variety of products for us to share that it's so hard. You're welcome, Joy. It's so hard for us to be like this one specific item, and this is all I want to talk about, right? So like a lot of people talk about niches. So it's kind of similar to that. So I'm not going to say that you have to mold yourself into a niche. But the more specific you can get, the easier it is to speak to somebody, and then you'll be able to help support. So if you start with one or two items, like for me, I picked 2 items, and that's what my class that I talk about products talks about, is just specifically those 2 items. And I've created my conversations around those and my content and stuff like that. So once they get in to my services and they have the products, then they'll learn more stuff and they'll be able to continue growing. Right. Life is about constant change and learning. Exactly. Yeah, you're welcome. Right. I know everything's learning. And that's the one thing I love the most about the attraction marketing, I think, is that you get to learn so much about you. You get to learn so much about your customers, and you get to learn that everything changes when trends change. So one last thing I wanted to kind of talk to you guys is the algorithms are different too, right? So they're always changing, and we want to be aware of when the algorithms are changing. But one of the things that we have to be mindful of as well, when we first start to do attraction marketing, we had a lot of more salesy posts. We had a lot of posts that didn't talk to specific people. So they just talked to a lot of random people, and we might have been kind of mixing up our algorithms and everything like that. So it might take a little bit to get out there for people to really see and to see the changes. And then a lot of people are not sure, and they're like, well, what are you doing now? Like, what's going on? And they may not comment, they may not post right away because they're not sure, they're confused because things are changing, and that's okay. So I would say take a little while to get used to it. You might have some people that as soon as you resonate with them right away, you jump on board and you got them going, and they're very excited, and they're responding back to you, and it's a lot more of it. So like I've had, I think 6 or 7 people from the content when I changed, because I do like a lot of self-love stuff as well. So I had people message me later and they're like, oh, like I really liked seeing your posts. I really like looking at them. So they don't comment, they don't like any of it, but I'm still impacting them, right? So they're still there, and they still went to the point where they messaged me, or I messaged them about something else, and they're like, hey, I love your posts, it's really good. Or they're like, it's been really inspiration, I needed it a certain day and you were there with the post. So sometimes our customers aren't responding, but they're still watching, they're still listening, they're still paying attention. And it does take a little bit to get used to, and it does take a little bit to tweak to kind of go through it. So it's not one of those things like some people, it could resonate right away and you get a really great actions, get really great responses and everything like that. But for some other people, it might just take that little bit of push and nudge and a bit of time to go through it. So the key is to be consistent and to stick to it, because we are going to be speaking to people and it's going to build better, deeper relationships. Okay, so anyone have any questions for today? How are they working now, algorithms? They're always changing. I recently had another coach, like a business coach that I follow. She commented that the algorithms changed a little bit. So one of the biggest things that I learned is, and I find very interesting, if you're like not getting people responding, then a lot of your posts go down. So like, for example, if every day we're sharing our products, and people are like, well, I don't really want to keep looking at all the products. I would rather have something else. I don't want to get to too much detail about content because it is in a couple of days. I don't want to confuse too much. But if we share valuable content, then people are going to come back and they're going to be interested and they're going to follow more for us. Yeah, I know, Kimberly. I want to investigate before I do my content post PowerPoint to find out what some of the changes are. But a lot of times, like, people won't see something, or if one person comments and we respond back pretty quick to them, then more people see it. So last Tuesday, I had post about going to the ranch. It's been a while, and I tried to do a TikTok and I messed up, but it was to switch from like a normal person to autumn. So then I kind of went and I wore autumn colors, I wore autumn makeup, and I was outside, but there was no autumn leaves, unfortunately. Oh, no, don't worry. Please ask questions. It's perfect. No. But yeah, so I kind of switched, and then I posted that, and I posted a picture of me there too. And I was like, hey, I'm outside enjoying the time at the ranch. So no, like there wasn't really much visibility at all on the post. And then my friend had gone in and she found one of the pictures inside the post and she had commented on it. And she's like, oh, this is a really beautiful picture of you. And then all of a sudden, like she posted that at night. When I woke up the next day, there was like 500 views on it. And there was like a bunch of people that had also commented and they were liking the post. And it was a photo. It wasn't the post, it was the photo, right? So a lot of times it really is with people responding to us. So one of the key things that I talk about later in the content is a call to action. So you want people to respond to you. You want to ask some questions. You want them to do a comment. I think the like doesn't work very well, but if they do the love or the heart or any of the other emotions, even the negative emotion, that one gets a lot of attraction as well. If you guys haven't already, I would suggest if you're going to use Facebook as your platforms, where I think most of you guys do, if you flip to the professional or the content creator, it actually gives you insights into your posts. So that way you could see who's liking it, what impressions you have, how much engagement you have. So that's a good way of being able to analyze how your customers are responding to you and how to check how your algorithms are. Facebook, Instagram loves Reels. So if you guys do Reels, they're going to show a lot more of that for your algorithms. But if you're consistent, you'll see more. So like when I first started, I was posting on a regular basis. I kind of got a little bit sidetracked in doing the challenge and I didn't have as much time and I wasn't consistent with my posting. But I had like, Facebook was telling me for like 45 days, I had better visibility. So they were showing my posts to more people. And then all of a sudden, it kind of dropped down a little bit. And I could see like they sent me an algorithm and it went down when I stopped posting as consistently. So it is about consistent schedule to help you. And then the more you do it, the more people interact, the more your algorithms are going to go out to other people and they'll be able to see and respond to it as well. So any other questions? If that answered the question, I know I'll look to see what changes happen to the algorithm, but just to kind of give you a bit of an idea of how it works. That's why I say it's long-term, more consistency showing up. And we'll talk about how to know what to post and make it easier for you guys to find something. All right. Yeah, so if you guys are catching the replay, put in hashtag replay. If you want the workbook, you don't have the workbook, let me know. And then we'll be able to get that to you as well to make sure that you do have access if you wanted to. I didn't do it where you can type in stuff. I might change it later where you can just type it in on the computer, but I had it where you could print it off if you're interested, or if you could just review it and look at it. Thank you, Kimberly. Right. So, yeah, like I said, that picture. Thank you. A lot of people have been saying that too. I think my skin tone, like with orange and yellow, I love wearing those colors. I love orange anyways. And it makes my eyes look out more blue and stuff too. And that's the thing, like a lot of people are going to see and they do comment. So I try my best. Oh, sorry. I keep saying one more thing, but just one last thing I wanted to kind of comment. And I forgot when I was talking about the PowerPoint and stuff. One of the things I also do with some people is if there's a list of people that you're interested, that you know, like you kind of interacted with and they showed interest, but they haven't showed 100% interest in anything, they may not be seeing your posts. So what I do sometimes is I go through my list of people. Now I know for me, if I see people in my newsfeed, I'll respond and I'll just kind of go through, do comments and stuff. But there are people that I would specifically go look for. So if there's someone that I know I've spoke to about my products and they were interested or they're struggling and I know I can help support them, then if they post something, even if it's not related to their wellness, health, or whatever it is, I'm just commenting. Like they'd be like, oh, it's my kid's first day of school. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Like, how did they like the school? Right. So we're asking questions and we're getting them to respond back again. So then the next time, if you've had that back and forth conversation on their post, well, next time you post something, guess what's going to show up on their newsfeed? Right? So you're going to show up on their newsfeed because Facebook's going to be like, oh, these guys interacted. They had good communication. So let's go ahead and throw that out there so that way they can respond back as well. And in case I forget related to content, ask questions, open-ended questions. So if someone responds to your post, ask them a follow-up question, ask them an open-ended, so that way they have to respond back. Because again, the more conversation that can go back and forth, the more the algorithms like it and the more visibility is going to go to other people and stuff. So if someone's like, oh, yeah, like that's so exciting, your kids went to school, and be like, well, what did they like? What did they learn? Did they have any new friends, kind of thing, right? So asking questions, it helps support them. It makes them feel good as people because we want that connection. We want to feel like we're part of something and having someone that cares, right? So it helps build that communication and interaction with them, and it helps the algorithms as well. So it's a win-win for everybody, and you build that stronger relationships with people and you get to know them better and stuff like that as well. Alrighty. Any other questions? Are you guys good for today and excited about tomorrow for personal branding? All right. Well, thank you again. This replay, it will be available. I'm excited too. It will be available until September 30th. I'm going to leave them all up for the time being. I do have guides and I set them into the guides, and I do have a couple of other posts I think I have to tie in there later. Awesome, Joy. Thank you guys for taking the time to spend with me today. Thank you to everyone who's going to be checking the replay. If you have any questions, let us know. Share anything in your Facebook. Share your aha moments. Share your takeaways. Share what something really resonated with you. And if you guys can think of any questions, and even if we go through the other days and you think of a question related to this one, feel free to ask, right? Because it's all about you. I want to make sure you guys get the most out of it so that you can be able to grow and get your business a lot better. right. So thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow and have a great night. I'm looking forward to seeing your letters. I'm going to go do mine now too. So